It's been a rather surreal out-of-body experience so far today, and I expect that's going to carry on. So I'd just like to thank the President and Ethan for his very generous remarks, and just to say, obviously I'm just super happy. I think he was telling me this is a very University of Chicago award, and I agree with that. I've loved it every second since I've been here for the last 8 years, 8.5 years. I've felt a kind of intellectual home at the university and in the Harris School and in the Department of Political Science, and I find the intellectual atmosphere so exciting and rewarding, and I really appreciate the way the university kind of believed in me and got me to come here, and it's been great. I'd just like to thank Daron and Simon and I. We've been working together for 30 years almost. Daron and I met in March 1992 when I gave a job talk at the London School of Economics, and he was a PhD student. He sat, I can still see his face, he sat in the front row and kind of objected to almost everything I said. Like, no, if you change assumption 2, that would never go through, that result. I was like, who is this guy? He's so annoying. Then we went out to dinner at this Indian restaurant in Covent Garden with the search committee, and he was the sort of the star student, and we sat next to each other and started talking. And as we left the old St. Clement's building from the London School of Economics, which is now demolished, he turned around and looked at me and said, "Have you read this paper by North and Weingast?" which is a very famous paper. And, in some sense, we've been researching that topic ever since. And I just, I would never have achieved anything without those two. None of us had any idea how to conduct an empirical study, in fact. So then I remember we were talking on the telephone, and I was like talking about how we were going to analyze the data, and Darryl was like, no, I know how we're going to do it. I know how we're going to do it. I'm like, what? Yeah, I know. Angrist, he's the guy who knows. So we were able to kind of use a lot of techniques from labor economics and kind of other parts of economics, and to kind of import them into studying these issues of comparative development, which turned out to be very powerful. Disbelief, I think. I was sleeping with my phone off, so my wife woke me up and said, "You have to get up. You have to get up." I said, "What for?" She said, "You've won the Nobel Prize." I thought she was kidding. So I think there's so much fantastic research in social science, in economics and political science. I'm actually in the political science department, so we should, there are so many fantastic scholars and so much fantastic research. You could think of hundreds of people who should get the Nobel Prize. So I never really thought about it very much, but I was surprised and, of course, delighted in a bemused way.
Thank you all for joining, coming in person. Thanks to those that have turned into the webcast.